Hi guys, welcome back to Mike Reacts, and today we're reacting to Ben Shapiro reacting to his TikTok haters. I wish to make it so big one day that there are people on TikTok who hate me so much for the things that I say, but I'm not going to hold my breath too much. But I think Ben Shapiro is great. I think the way he comes back to things is really, really great. I like the fact I've been watching him a lot lately with regards to this, what's happening in Israel. And to be quite frank with you, I'm in total support of Israel's right to defend itself. So I don't want to make it too much of a political video, but it will be to a certain extent because it involves Ben Shapiro. But I like the way he really describes and explains the situation that's currently happening. It's a 3-month-old video, so he's probably in higher spirits as opposed to as opposed to how he is now because of everything that's happening. But I love how he has such a thick skin and things just sort of bounce off of him. So I'm really excited to see what his response to his own TikTok haters are. So this is Ben Shapiro reacts to TikTok haters. This is Mikey reacts, reacting to Ben Shapiro, reacting to his haters. So let's get to the video. Don't forget, if you enjoy this kind of content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos that I post. And also, this being a very small channel, your support means absolutely the world to us, to me. So I don't know why I keep saying us. It's my channel. It's just me. So hit the like button and leave comments down below. Your subscription absolutely means the world to me. So also comment down below what you think of these videos, what you would like to see me react to. And you can also head to my other channel with the links stashed down below in the description. It's a brand new channel and it's detailing mine and my fiance's move to Texas. We are moving to Texas early next year, and we're really excited to share the entire process with you. So subscribe over there to see our journey from being Brits to becoming Americans eventually in 5 or 6 years or so, whenever it might be that we get our American citizenship. So subscribe there and head over to Patreon if you want to see my political opinions, things that I want to keep on Patreon and not too much on YouTube. Head over to Patreon. It's just $5 per month, but I have a lot of the same views as Ben. I have a lot of similar outlooks. You can tell who I'm in support of, in upcoming elections, etc. Probably by the way I speak and what I believe and who I'm reacting to. So head over there to see my real thoughts on a lot of really important issues, and you can have conversations, private conversations with me through Messenger, and even we can arrange phone calls. So let's get to reacting to Ben Shapiro.
Alrighty folks, today I'm going to be tortured by my producers with a bunch of haters on TikTok, and I'm very curious to see how much they hate me and why.
First, well, they hate him real bad. But they're not sure why. They think they know why, but they're not sure why, because they're not that smart.
Clip.
Girl, are you okay? You feel like it's a red flag?
Please, God, take me now.
Oh, babe.
Listen, my fiance knows my political views, and do you know what's amazing about that? She shares them. She may not have shared all of them at the beginning, but we have really come together as one team, one unit. We know what we want for our children, what we want for our future, and we really talk about these issues. And it's amazing to know we're on the same page. If you're with a liberal, you should probably run.
If you need help, let us know, because that's not it.
Okay, 4 red flags on this one. 1, nose piercing. 2, pink hair. 3, crazy eyelashes. And 4, sleeve.
And her nails go back.
Oh, that's like 5. Yeah, no, that's right. Nails was another one. I'm never going to understand.
I never understand that either, where they can't even use their phones.
Mystery of life, where women are capable of typing with those nails.
Yes.
Or wiping.
Well, I wasn't going to go to wiping, but...
It rhymes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this video.
Okay, next one.
Just a reminder that Ben Shapiro is a guy who claims that he cares about facts and logic and yet ignores every time a expert tells him that he's wrong, and claims that homosexuality is bad, not based on any facts or evidence, but based on a piece of paper that somebody wrote on in a time when people thought the earth was flat.
He's talking about the Torah or the Bible. Well, listen, son, when the Bible was written, okay, Greeks and Romans had already figured out, and Egyptians had already figured out that the earth wasn't flat. Yeah? It's people like you who still think the earth is flat. There's flat earthers everywhere. And, don't reduce the Torah or the Bible to a piece of paper that was written 2,000 years ago. Do you know what? They are 2 of the most important documents ever written. Whether you're religious or not, they have shaped the entire future of the Western world. So
real logical guy.
Devastating rebuttal.
Murdered.
Ben Shapiro does not listen to all the experts I like. He listens to other experts sometimes. When I say homosexuality is sinful, like the sinful, because this concept of sin is in the Bible. So yeah, that's the context. When he says bad, I don't know what he means by bad, other than the context of sinful, because, you know, again, there's like bad sushi, but that's not what we're talking about when we talk about particular human activity. If what we're talking about is societally useful, heterosexual relationships are more societally useful than homosexual relationships because they produce children. I don't even know what he means. I'm sure he knows what he means.
And I'm pretty sure you don't use the Bible as a source of, like, debating.
No, he said that a lot. He said he never uses the Bible as a reference for debating, because same for me. I'm a religious man. Let me just put the cross out. But I will never use that as a source of debate, purely because if I'm debating someone who's not religious, it has no relevance, you know?
Don't use the Bible as a source of debating. And thus, if you're asking me whether homosexuality is sinful, I will always say yes. Biblically, it is sinful.
Yeah, but he smirked at the end of that video, so clearly he's right.
He did smirk. There was some smirking. And bad grammar. Those two things I noticed.
Yes.
Ben Shapiro said the dumbest thing you'll ever hear about school shootings. Wham!
We're telling these teachers that it's better for them to jump in front of doors and block bullets with their body than to arm these same teachers so that they can actually defend the students. It makes zero sense.
There are more than just these two stupid options. Either you support teachers pathetically blocking doorways with their bullet-riddled corpses, or you support arming these teachers to defend against mass shootings. Which one is it going to be? How about we instead make it harder for people to obtain the guns used in these shootings to begin with?
Federal background checks. Check. You can't have a firearm if you're mentally ill. Check. You can't have one if you're a convicted felon. Check. You put a gun in the hands of every single teacher in a school, there's not going to be a school shooting. I tell you that now.
Wow. Wow. You mean that there are other... I didn't say those are the only two options. One option was better than the other option. There is a third option, but that's probably not the third option, because it turns out that we've been trying to make it tougher for school shooters to obtain their weapons, and it's been radically failing every step along the way.
Yes.
Criminals mock society's laws.
And a third option, by the way, would be things like making sure that people who have serious red flags in their past are involuntarily committed to mental institutions.
Yeah.
That's not something that I see the left supporting either. And in fact, I've provided like entire lists of
Maybe
things.
start actually treating mental health problems and depression rather than shoving drugs down the throats of an entire generation of human beings. Maybe. Notice how there weren't that many school shootings in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. You know why? Because people didn't have so many mental health issues caused by the drugs that were supposed to fix the mental health issues.
I think can be done to help facilitate the end of school shootings. The point that I was making in that video is that if you're talking about what teachers in the situation can do, that's what we're talking about here.
Yes.
What can a teacher in the situation do? So here are the two scenarios. Teacher is unarmed or teacher is armed, but it's a teacher in the scenario. If you can tell me how the teacher can retroactively go back in time in a time machine and prevent the shooter from getting the gun, I'm up for that too. I just don't see how you're gonna make that happen. We'll get to more of these crazy ladies in just 1 second. First, imagine that you go to a coffee shop and you open up your laptop.
I'm gonna skip this.
And you're trying to one of these that'd be horrifying, right? Should not. This is why you should do what I do, and none of these people could do it, but here encrypted to a year. Now, I don't have to be super tech savvy. So VPN.com, extra months for free. It's
really quite remarkable.
There we are.
.com/BenYT.
Ben Shapiro said something today that was really quite remarkably dumb, which I guess is kind of par for the course. Ben said, quote, "School lunches are not going to solve the problem of child hunger," adding, "It does not take that much money to feed a child," which is entirely the point, Ben. We shouldn't let any kid go hungry. And free school lunch goes a long way in helping solve that problem.
Is it really free though? Because who pays for it? Not only that, it doesn't cost that much to feed a child. Now, there is poverty, 100%. But you can go to a Walmart, and I know because I was there just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I live in the UK. Yeah. Inflation in terms of our produce here is actually a little bit worse. I noticed that things are a bit cheaper in Walmart than they were here. Here in the UK, in our major supermarkets, in our major stores. You spend $50, you can get fresh vegetables, meat, all that stuff. You can make a week's worth of meals with $50 to feed 2 kids. Easy, right? You don't have to feed them junk. Now, you go and spend the same money on sweets and candies and sugary drinks and stuff like that, then you're misusing the money, and this you can't feed them, of course.
No, it really, really doesn't. It really, really does not. Okay, if you're talking about child starvation in the United States, like kids who are radically malnourished, it's not because of school lunch availability or unavailability, it's because they're not getting food at home. Okay, the point that I was making is that school lunches, while they marginally may help the kids nutritionally, also involve enormous amounts of waste, as anybody who's ever worked at a school will tell you. A huge percentage of that food ends up in the trash.
Yeah, so actually any food production does. I work in the food and beverage industry in a senior management role, and I can tell you now, it's almost criminal how much food goes to waste, because you can't predict the exact amount of food you're going to need. You can't. You can predict roughly, but some food will go to waste.
This is garbage. If you actually want to help kids who are suffering from severe malnutrition, you have to look to their homes. Simply giving them lunch at school ain't going to do it.
According to the Shapiro standard, a coup is acceptable. When a government comes in and starts messing with the Supreme Court. Wait, that's what Netanyahu's doing in Israel.
So should there be a coup in Israel?
Should there be a coup? I mean, it's not my rule.
That's actually a really great point, Cenk.
That's literally what Netanyahu is doing.
And by the way, just to be clear, not in favor of coups under any circumstance.
No, it's not my rule. I don't want...
One thing I also dislike about the Young Turks is the Young Turks. Turkey does not represent a nation who is democratic and fair to its people or the countries around it. It's not a standpoint of morality.
Okay?
Yeah, a story today. Members of the Israeli Defense Forces have threatened to stop serving should Netanyahu get his way and weaken the country's Supreme Court.
I'm sure that Ben thinks that they should go further.
You don't know me. You don't. What is good? You don't know. You don't know me.
So first of all, let me actually tell you what I said in the original quote. In the original quote, I said that there should not be a coup in Brazil. That was the question. Should there be a coup in Brazil? And I said no, unless your rights are inherently unprotectable any other way than through a coup, and a coup is inappropriate. What would it take to justify an uprising to overthrow the government? What line would the government have to cross for you to support something like that? Well, the answer is that you could not actually achieve any of your rights by any other means. By any other means. By any other means.
It's pretty clear cut.
I would assume that there would be situations in which even Cenk and Anna are in favor of a coup. If Donald Trump took complete control of the United States military, dissolved the Supreme Court, and then decided that he was going to eviscerate the Bill of Rights, I assume they'd be in favor of a coup.
If I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are pleasuring the animal.
And so, obviously, everybody has limits.
What? How could that even be on your agenda? Who gives a shit? Sorry. What?
In which they say that a coup would be appropriate. So when they say they're never in favor of a coup, that's obviously untrue. It's not true. As far as the situation with Netanyahu in Israel, Israel does not have a written constitution. The situation in Israel is completely different than the situation in Honduras. In Honduras...
Right, so it mirrors the UK. The UK doesn't have a written constitution. We have an ever-evolving constitution, which would allow for things like this to happen.
The president of Honduras decided to basically dissolve the Supreme Court entirely and simply declare that he was going to be the sole ruler of the country. That is not remotely what is happening in Israel.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Right. Raise your hand if you breathe air.
But seriously, Ben, we gotta get this impersonation like a little more on point here, okay? First of all, you're getting too squealy and you're getting too happy. Kamala starts off deep. She starts off deep and low and slow. So it's something like... You know what I mean? Like, she goes into the maniac. She goes into it. She's not born with it. So try again. Try again. And then she throws hands in. So you see how that first clip that I stitched, she was like, her hands were kind of flailing at the same time. So she was like, something like that. Try it again. I want to see.
It's a very good critique. And in fact, I've seen this one before and I've tried to work it in. So like...
Kamala is
AI
She's a lunatic. She should not be anywhere near in charge of the country.
is 2 letters and it stands for artificial intelligence.
It's gotten a lot better, your Kamala one.
It's getting better. It's getting better. Alrighty, so those are some of the better arguments, apparently. I have to trust my producers. Against my arguments, I did not find them convincing. If you have any other references that you'd like me to critique, things going after me that you think that I should respond to, I'd be happy to respond to anything you drop in the comments.
Hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us.
It's so true. I think conservatives genuinely lead much better lives than liberals because we're not worried about everything all the time. We're not looking for something to argue about all the time. We're not angry at the establishment all the time. We're just living our lives as individualists, trying to, you know, make sure our family prospers as best as it possibly can, and we're happy for that. Everything he says is pretty much on point, and it's almost funny to see people be angry at Ben Shapiro, especially people who think they're educated because they have a degree in what he calls lesbian dance theory, because it's worthless and it's nothing like the intelligence that, you know, people who actually sit there and study these topics. You can read as many Google articles as you want. You're not going to understand it as best as you think you do. Anyway, that was absolutely great. Let me know if you think I should react to any more Ben Shapiro. I definitely think I will be anyway. But let me know if there's any specific clips or videos you want me to react to that you think I might like, because I'm a fan of a lot of his newer stuff. I haven't seen a lot of his older stuff. So if there's anything older that you want me to see, let me know. I do support and follow the Daily Wire, and I think he's absolutely great. And I'll get a lot of comments here saying that he's a hack and he's a fake or whatever it is, but I still think he's pretty good, and I think he's fighting for the right cause. So let me know down below. Head over to Patreon, head over to my new channel, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Leave comments down below, let me know what I should react to and what you think of this video, and give me your opinions. Thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video.